Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Dacykeon, and I'm here today with another video. I'm trying to keep them pushing. I told y'all I would, but we're using some hair by a young lady. Her company is called Summertime Hair. She doesn't have a website right now, but whatever information I can get from her, I'll go ahead and put that in the description box. But we're using 3 bundles, 14, 16, 18, or either 16, 18, 20. I'm gonna go with that one. 16, 18, 20 in a 4x4 lace closure, and the texture is deep wave. So first things first, of course, you know we have to bleach that closure. No gray ass knots this way. So we're gonna go ahead and bleach this closure, ladies. I'm not gonna be spraying it with my Gots to Be because for some odd reason I could not find it. But as long as you got that mixture down pat, you don't necessarily need it. You don't want it too thick because you don't want to feel like you're mixing concrete and that shit won't spread. But you definitely want that, let's see, whipped cream type of thing, you know, where it's smooth and milky and it spreads, but at the same time it's not too thick and it's not too runny. We don't want it to run into the lace and get onto the roots of the hair because then you'll have to touch those up and it's just double working yourself. So you go ahead and take your butter knife or whatever you choose. I like to do a butter knife because it spreads evenly and it doesn't push the bleach into the hair. And I just lightly spread. I work my way from the bottom of the closure and work my way up to the hairline because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in my experience, the hairline starts to take first. And I don't want to over process my hairline because that's the most important part. If I F up on the back, we can probably fix that or disguise that, put a little makeup or whatever, lace tint. But with that hairline, you want to try to get that as perfect as possible the first go around. So after you have finished putting the bleach on there, make sure you get you some aluminum or something that's going to trap that heat. Turn it face down and let it process. It's no set time on how long you let these process. It really just depends on the volume of developer you're using and the type of hair that you're using. Some hair takes longer to process than others. Sometimes you may have to do it more than one time. Sometimes the knots are a darker brown and you may be of a lighter complexion, so you bleach them a second time. But anywho, you just want to keep a watch on it. Once they have bleached, you go ahead and shampoo. I am using the Shimmer Lights Purple shampoo, and you're going to leave that for a little bit to go ahead and let those knots tone. You don't want that brassy look. So after your knots have been bleached and toned, while that's going ahead and toning, you can go ahead and, I'm sorry you guys, I'm realizing that and you'll see in the video that I am using the wrong damn dome head, and I'm glad that I caught it because girl, her wig was gonna be too big and she was gonna be mad at me. But once I figure out that I'm using the wrong head, I'll show y'all how to properly fit the cap on the head. So just give me 1 second, we'll come back to this. Just watch me fuck this up, girl. You see that big old 24 right there? I got few clients who have a size 24 head, but very few. Most people are 22, sometimes 22 and a half, but they don't have a 22 and a half, so you can use a 23 if you need to, or you can use a 22 and just stretch your cap all the way out. So now you see that I noticed that it's a 24 and I'm changing it out for the 22. And I know my heads are a little beat up, but you know, I don't just work doing clients to show them off on YouTube. I actually am full-time behind my chair, so I do this on a daily basis and, you know, wear and tear. So what I'm doing is pulling my cap down in the back to make sure that it's stretched out, and you just want to take a T-pin and pin that down so that it doesn't move. But you want to try to pull as many wrinkles out of the cap as you can by stretching that cap all the way down into the nape. So now you see that I have the hairline lined up evenly in the front where I wanted to start, and then the back is pulled down. And you see those knots, they have been bleached. It looks like a scalp to me. I don't know about y'all, but to me. And the knots are brown on the other side of the lace, and that's what you want to see. I will be tinting this lace, but for now we're going to go ahead and sew it on. So I always pull my lace closure about in 1/2 inch above where the cap is going to start before I start sewing. You just kind of want to cheat it and give yourself a little leeway because you don't want the wig to be sliding back, the closure to be too exact and expose some of the natural hairline or any of that. So you want to give yourself a little bit of space. Now, starting from the front of the hairline, I'm going to make sure that I have pinned that down so that it doesn't move, and I'll be pinning down the entire closure as well to make sure that it is laying flat. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I am looking at this video as I'm doing my voiceover, and there are some things that I can't see, but I don't know if I can't see them because I'm in editing mode, because when I was actually filming, I know that I saw them. However, if you cannot see exactly what I'm doing at this moment and I'm out of focus, I apologize. I am trying to get into the swing of things and learn my angles and stuff like that, but it won't be like that throughout the whole video. However, if you can't see, what I'm doing in this moment is just pinning the closure down, and I'll show you that and then begin to sew it down, and at that point I believe that you will be able to see exactly what I'm doing. But most of y'all have seen a plethora of videos on lace closure wigs and lace frontal wigs, so you pretty much know this step. I'm just showing you guys what I do. It's probably not any different from what anybody else does on here, but it's not about that. It's about putting myself out here. So I'm definitely going to continue to make videos whether or not it's been seen before or not. So I want you guys to be able to see this, and I think that you can because I can. So I have pinned down the closure, and I am getting ready to sew it down. Now, when I sew it down, I start from the front, and I actually go through the elastic on the cap. I go through the entire cap, and I go through the PU strip of the closure. This is the only time I actually go through the band of the cap. Not because I believe that it'll take the elasticity, because I have learned that if you sew through the band with the cap completely straightened out or stretched out, shall I say, that it does not affect the elasticity. And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, I learned that from Erica J's channel. Check her out. I love watching her. I have gotten a lot of tips from her over the time of watching her, and she's really good. Anywho, so I was struggling with this thread, y'all. It's that Yonkers thread that you can get off Amazon. I love using nylon thread, but I always go down to my local Hobby Lobby and get that nylon thread because it's very strong and I don't have any issues with tangling. However, this seems like a cheaper version of that. And you get a big spool of it for like $7.99, girl. So I should have known that, you know, it wasn't going to cooperate with me 100%, but it got the job done. It was definitely tough, but it just kept tangling. So you may notice a little struggle here, there. The video is sped up, so you may or may not see that, but I will be honest with y'all. I struggled with that thread, but once I got the hang of it, it was okay. But starting out, it was just like, oh girl, this cannot be one of them days. I'm gonna be hours trying to make this wig because the thread is giving me hell. But she got some act right at the end, or towards the end. So what I'm doing now, it's just doing stitching, and of course the type of stitching that I'm doing, and it's probably hard to tell what I'm doing and I can't really explain it because I am left-handed, y'all. But if you hold that thread like I'm doing, and every time you sew, the needle is coming in front of that thread that you're holding, you're making like a loop. So you're looping each time. Now sometimes you won't see me do that. You'll actually see me grab the thread with my hand and pull it through the loop, because to me that's faster. But like I said, I'm left-handed and I do everything half-ass backwards, so that may not be faster for you, and this technique where you hold the thread may be faster for you. But anywho, that's how I sew. I do the loop method. Some people just go underneath the weft and pull back, go underneath the weft and pull back, just regularly sewing. But I like to do this method. It's no particular reason why. I just like the way it looks when you turn the cap inside out. To me, it looks more professionally done than just to have a bunch of threads unevenly placed inside the cap. So I guess I do have a reason. But anywho, this is what we're doing. I'm going to do that to this side, then I'm going to follow up on the other side and then do the back last. So I'm going to just let you guys go ahead and watch that, and I'm going to shut my damn mouth for a minute. So now that we have our closure sewn on nice and tight, we're going to go ahead and start with the first bundle. Now I start going from side to side and then working my way around from like ear to ear. And then eventually I start doing kind of like a backward horseshoe motion until I get around the closure and close everything up. Now sometimes you have to pay attention to your spacing and stuff like that because you want an actual kind of like a horseshoe going around your closure, and not all the times you're gonna get that, especially if you move as fast as I am sometimes. But that's not anything that can't be fixed. As long as you are making sure that your tracks are flat, you'll still get the same look, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about when I get there. Going through my first track, I always go through the weft. That's to make sure that it is definitely laying flat, and it's also going to be adhered to the cap and it's tight. After I go through it, I do knot it a couple of times, and then I just sew in that looping method as I continue on. And nothing is really going to change in this, so I'm not going to talk too much through it. Like I said, you've seen many videos like this, so I'm pretty sure by looking at what I'm doing, you know exactly what that is already. This is just to show you my outcome of what it looked like and how I installed it on my client. This is not necessarily a tutorial. So anywho, I'm sewing that first track on. I'm not going like all the way to the bottom of the cap, but I'm very close to the bottom of the cap with it. And I'm just gonna go from side to side of the end of that cap, and then I am gonna do the fold over method. I'm not gonna cut any of these tracks. I am doubling right now because I want my last bundle to be thick. When you get in bundles and you have like 3 different lengths and your last length is not you don't have 2 of the same length for your longest length, it can sometimes look thin, so at the end. So I am doubling those particular tracks. That particular bundle will be doubled, and then I will single the rest to make sure that I don't run out of hair. And if I do have some spaces where I still have hair and I can go back in, I normally go in and fill those in, but I try to be careful and make sure that I don't run out of hair first, and then any hair that's extra I can use. But if you run out of hair and you're doing the fold over method, it's really hard to, it's not that it can't be done, but it's hard and it's time consuming to cut a track from somewhere else and put it somewhere else, because then you have to sew back down the track that you have just cut off because you've also cut that thread. So let's try to make sure that you are using your hair cautiously and making sure that you're spacing the way that everything should be spaced. For me, I like to space in the back very close together because I want that fullness. And when I say very close, I don't mean stacked up on one another, but definitely like maybe like 1 finger. But as I get to the middle, I'll give a little bit more space, and then when I get to the top, I want to get those close as well, but not too close, because you don't want it to be too thick at the top or whatever. But you definitely don't want any space to where you can see the previous track through the track that you're currently sewing, if that makes sense. You know how you're doing one track on top of the other. Sometimes if you have too much space, when you comb the hair down, you can see the track that you previously sewn through the actual hair of the track that you were currently sewing. That's what I mean. You don't want that. So as you can see, I did the fold over method. I went through that weft as well. Every time I fold over, I go through the weft to make sure that that fold over is kind of flat. And then, yeah, you just continue sewing your regular way, or looping, however you want to do it. Just continue sewing. And I'm going to let you guys watch this. Like I said, I'm not showing a new technique. If I was showing a new technique, I would explain it more in detail. But this isn't anything that you haven't seen, whether it been from me doing a sew-in or you watching somebody else's videos. But this is definitely a common technique that I am doing. So I feel like me talking throughout this entire video, it is pointless. So I'm going to let you guys watch it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I always leave my contact information, or you can just leave the questions down in the description box. below. And don't forget to leave any comments as well if you like what you're seeing. And if you have not done so by this point in the video, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure that you turn on the notification bell as well so that you'll be notified every time I do an upload. Every time, girl. And like I said, I'm trying to push out more and more on a daily. So y'all see that I am closing up on one side and closing up in the back, and there's still a space on the other side. That's what I was talking about. Sometimes it's just like that if you're not paying attention to your spacing. But like I said, that's something that can be easily fixed. We don't always get it right the first time, but as long as you know what you're doing, you can always fix it. So all I'm going to do is just go back and forth on that side until I close that side up, because I do still have hair left over. Now if you would have run out of hair with that big ass space, then you'd have a serious problem. But in our case, girl, she's always on top of things. She's just going to fold that back and keep on going back and forth in that little bitty space until she closes that up. And because I am singling my tracks, there's no thickness, there's no bumps or anything like that. The other side is just as full as this side, so everything will look good as soon as we finish this up. So no worries, but I did want to point that out because I mentioned it earlier and I wanted you to see it in real time. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see exactly, but I can. So hopefully when I post this video, y'all can see what I'm talking about. But I'm just going to go ahead and close that up, and y'all stay tuned for the install. Now on to the fun part. We are going to pluck this closure for dear life. Um, I like to pluck my closures. I don't like to over pluck unless a client specifies that they want like a really natural hairline. But generally, if it's for a customer and I'm shipping or anything like that, then I just minimally pluck. Like, I want it to look natural, but I'm not going to pluck the hell out of your stuff because hair does shed over time and you don't want any bald spots in your closure or your frontal. But because I am installing this one today, I do know the client. She is a regular client, and she happens to be my sister-in-law, that I know I can go for what I know with this one. So I'm gonna pluck the hell out of her. And just in case you guys are wondering or you notice, yes, my client in the back is Caucasian. And yes, we do weaves and extensions on Caucasian hair as well. So if you're watching this video and you happen to be Caucasian, girl, don't worry. We service you too. Book me. Look me up. Because we know y'all be wearing it too. So it's cool. You can be a part of the family. And we can hook you up. But yeah, just break up that hairline. Make sure it's looking all natural. And you can already see the difference from one side to the next. Or at least I can. Girl, if you can't, I'm going to need you to get some glasses. Because I know y'all see that. That shit is coming into form, sis. Do you see it? Y'all see it. That's going to be scalp when I put that on her head. Yes. I'm so ready, y'all. Like, I'm so excited to install this at this point. Like, as I'm showing y'all this hairline, the thoughts that are going through me. Like, when I do stuff like this, I get so excited. I don't know why. I do all sorts of hair, but when I'm doing closures and frontals, like, I get so excited and I'm always eager to learn, like, new techniques as it comes down to this. But I also want everyone to understand that not every stylist does every technique the same. Not all lace is the same. I can do Keisha lace, girl, and her lace can be cute as fuck, you know. And then Tiffany come, and her lace is cute, but it's not as cute as Keisha's because Tiffany lace was a little bit cheaper, you know. Not all lace is gonna lay the same, and you can't stand behind something that a client brings you because you can only stand behind your work. However, if you have your own product and you're using your own product, meaning your own frontals, your own hairline, and you have stood behind your vendor and said, okay, I like the product that you're giving me and this is going to work for my clients, then yeah, you can stand behind that and say, well, if you purchase my frontal, I can guarantee this look. But if a client is bringing you their own frontal from various vendors that you aren't familiar with, then you can't always guarantee that it's going to lay the same. But as a stylist, you're good at manipulating things and making them look just as good. But I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. So yeah, girl, y'all see that label? Always brand yourself. And all my units come with the elastic band, and it comes with a comb. I do want to let y'all know that stuff I was spraying on there, which I should have done that before I did my baby hairs and tied it down. So I'm a little behind the video. But I did lay the baby hairs and I did tie them down to mold it with one of my lace wraps that can be found on my website. But anywho, after that, I double worked myself and I sprayed it down with the lace tint that I got from Tailored Crowns from her website. I love this stuff, y'all. Like, it is amazing. She has one for every skin tone. So just make sure y'all cop that. Did y'all see how that lace was laying on her though? It was amazing. The only thing was I am going to do the ball cap method because I am looking for a realistic hairline. And I know people don't typically do this with a lace closure, but I am because I want it to look like it's melting. And when I put it on with just the cap regularly underneath there, I did see the cap because of course I did pluck that hairline. So you don't want to see that, and I don't have any makeup with me, or if I do, for some reason I don't want to put it on there. And another disclaimer, in the past few videos or past couple of videos, y'all did see that I have my hair tied up. And y'all probably going to see that in a couple of more videos because I am letting my hairline rest. I'm not trying to be cute for you girls and be out here with no edges because I keep putting frontals on my head. Frontals are nice. They can be a protective style if they are put on and removed properly. However, too much of anything can be harmful. And when I do my frontals, most times I do the ball cap method. There are times that I don't. And I can say in my experience, it's not the ball cap method. I'm sorry, it's not the lace frontal that is getting me. It's the ball cap method because it's closest to your hairline. I never glue close to my hairline. But with the ball cap method, because my hair is extremely soft, even when I'm doing the Gots to Be spray and stuff with that cap, if I don't remove it properly, you have those hiccups. So be careful out there, y'all, when y'all doing that ball cap method, because y'all don't want to be missing any edges or anything like that. I did go ahead and glue this down for the video purposes only, because like I said, I did want to have this little meltdown going on. But I do feel confident in my sister-in-law that she knows how to remove this, because this is a glueless wig. It does have an elastic band. You don't have to glue this down. So she knows how to remove it and wear it as a glueless wig when she wants to. But I did explain to her that I was going to be gluing it down for video purposes. So I think that's about it, really, y'all. I'm cutting off the lace, as you can see, and I'm going in a zigzag motion and kind of pressing down any of the lace that's sticking up into the glue that's on the forehead. I always make sure that I don't have any extra glue. I always make sure that I'm lining up that hairline directly with the glue so that when I cut it off, I don't have those issues. Go ahead and make your baby hairs. Eyebrow archer, razor comb, scissors, whatever you choose. Get your little edge brush. I got some of these on my website too, y'all. Y'all can find everything that I'm using, most of everything that I'm using. www.hairbydacykeon.com. Go ahead and mold those baby hairs, and we're going to be tying her down again with that melted lace wrap. And she's going to go under the dryer, and then we'll finish her up. So just go ahead and watch my wrist work until she done. Okay. So let's finish this off. After you unwrap that lace wrap and you see that you are melted, go ahead and finish off your little steps. You know, add your little makeup where you need to add your makeup. Put your little silk on your hair because you don't want your hair to be crunchy. No crunchy baby hairs this way. No crunchy hair, period. So go ahead and comb those baby hairs out after you add your silk. Make them look all soft and smooth. Cut off any excess that you need. You know, shape them and form them. Then you get your hot comb, girl. That hot comb, like I said, it seals the deal. So go ahead and get your hot comb because that's what's up. I use the one that goes in the oven. If you have one that plugs in it, I'll do the same thing. I just prefer the one that goes in the stove because to me it gets hotter. But you know, it could be a mind thing for me. The other one could be just as good. But go ahead and press that out. Make sure that everything is flat before you start styling. I'm going to be using water and a little bit of my serum on this hair. I won't be putting any, serious product on here. Make sure that you are using your hairspray on your hairline. That helps to further melt the lace into the skin and makes it look really natural, but it is an alcohol product. Most hairsprays are. So if you do that, make sure that you follow up with the blow dryer immediately. Don't let that alcohol sit in that lace like that or all your work will be for nothing. So I'm spraying this hair with water just to kind of revive the curl pattern. I'm going to put a little bit of serum on here. And y'all, this is pretty much the final look. So yeah, don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that, honey. I like it. It's so cute. I hope you guys like this look. I think we are pretty much done. So until next time, honey.